What is up, everyone? It's me, KFW. It's also Blueprints. I love this game so much. I'm so excited every time I start recording on this. Gotta calm myself down. I got myself my nice little drink. So in case you love this series and what you especially love is the sound of me breathing and like sniffing and whatever really, really close to my microphone because it's just too close to my face, you're gonna love the sound of me drinking. Absinthe. Okay, so yesterday was a really good day in a lot of ways, but the biggest thing it was for was opening up the basement. It required the power hammer, which is a really rare item to get. I think I got it once in my first playthrough, but I just didn't know that you could use it out on the door because, as I said last time, it's kind of annoying with that puzzle, so to speak, how to get through that secret tunnel. It's hard to know that you can break down that door. It's just you kind of have to guess that they wouldn't just put that sealed door if there was no use for it, and you kind of just put two and two together. But as soon as you get the power hammer, you can get into the basement. But we saw there was another way in there. We just weren't sure what it was, so we might be able to find a more legit way. We don't need it, but we can find it. We also got the foundation, which is going to be here every single day we start now. And it's possible that the foundation's thing down here is an elevator, which is the thing we saw on the map, down into the basement. So it's possible this is a second way into the basement. So we are now pretty much set up for a win. We need to somehow solve the gear puzzle down in the underground, and then that should get us into room 46, based on everything we've got so far. So who knows, maybe today's the day we do it, but maybe not. I said in the last video that we're at the part of the game where there's no guarantee that any day is going to have any success, as long as you're finding out new things, and as long as we're all having a good time, it's all good. As long as we have a nice strong drink. Let's draft the room outside, because we still haven't drafted the tomb. And supposedly there's a tomb entrance into the underground as well, so it would be really nice if we got that. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. We did not. But we got the shelter, so I'm going to take the shelter. Not only is it going to protect me from red rooms, but I totally messed up, I believe, on was day 7 we did the shelter, and I set the time lock safe, and then I didn't come back and get the stuff. So we're going to do it this time correctly. We're going to set the time lock safe. Now today is day 10, and that means it is November 16th. And we're going to set it for 11 a.m. Now, I'm going to remember. Doggone it, I'm going to remember to do this. I don't need to do anything else, so we're going to skip. We'll come back at 11. Hopefully I got that right. It is day 10. My way to remember this now is add 6 to the day, but we know the first day was Saturday, November 7th, so Saturday is also the 14th. Yesterday was Sunday the 15th. Today is Monday the 10th. We don't need to know the Monday part, but just in case I need to know that sometime. That'd be good. Okay. It also means I can draft some red rooms with impunity. I don't want to draft red rooms that I don't care about, so I don't want to draft the... Well, not care, so I don't care about the negative. So I don't want to draft the chapel early, because I don't mind the chapel's downside. It's things like the weight room, that stuff I want to do early. Let me start with this and see if this dictates what I do. What if I said this is our den spot? And now over here, the left and right are either straightaways or dead ends. So spare room can go there, and then that could take us to the corner and maybe loop around. And this can be a dead end room. So we can put our guest bedroom here and get it out of the way now, because we don't want either of these. Because the space to the right of the den, to the east of the den, and north of the room we're about to draft is the same space. We lose a pathway by doing that, so it essentially wastes these good rooms. I'm going to take the guest bedroom now and hope there's an item inside. And it's very lucky we get a gem. Although a key would be nice too, because we don't have an easy way to get keys quite yet. Let me go to the corner and see what I get here. A parlor is nice. A library is also nice. Unless I wait to get the reading nook and get the library out of the reading nook. No, I might as well just take the library when I have the opportunity for it. Because we're going to get a book that we would like to read. Swimbird! November 16th. Yep, we're correct. It's the 16th. This is a book by our mommy. I am a dare bird, a daring and brave bird, diving so deep bird, a ride on the wave bird. There is not a dare I would not do, there is not a depth I would not dive to. However, my friends are not very open to the idea that I like the sky less than the ocean. Bird in the sky, not in the sea, that is what they say when looking at me. You are not sea bird, you are not swim bird. If you are friend bird, fly in the wind bird. And shouldn't you always listen to friends? For they know me best, or so they pretend. So I dare not dive, and I dare not swim. And I dare not step foot in the ocean again. And I dare not smile, and I dare not laugh, for they will do it for me and on my behalf. And I dare not dream, and I dare not speak, for maybe my friends won't like the real me. And I will say goodbye to my dreams in the sea, and wonder why daring feels just like defeat. And that's the end of the story. Woo! Swimbird! Actually, I kind of like how the children's books in this game, like Swimbird and the Red Prince, really feel like they could be children's books. I'm not sure about Swimbird, making it past the publisher because it's quite depressing. But maybe, the point is to encourage kids to think about, like, why won't the bird do something about it? And, that kind of thing. But it's still a pretty depressing ending for a kid's book. But whatever. I say make the kids suffer. There's got to be a reason for this dare. We're not sure what it is yet. And I will say, going back sort of the meta key of W point of view, I actually haven't discovered if this book helps us solve any puzzles or anything like that. If so, I actually do not know. I have not looked up the answer to this. I don't know it. And so we can say quite plainly, it will not help us get to room 46. If we can get to room 46 without it, that's great. But it is a fun book. Okay, out of here. Oh, the vault is nice. No. So we went here last time because we had a safe deposit box key. This room is really valuable if we have another safe deposit box key, because otherwise we're spending 3 gems. We're spending all of our gems. We'll get another one in the den, but we're spending all of them now to get 40 coins. I only want 40 coins if I know I'm going to buy something very expensive today. I don't need that much. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm not going to do this. This cuts off a path. I'm going to take the secret passage, and then I'm going to... Do I want to go in now? I think I want to make another hallway here. I want to make a lot of options. No, because I want this to move up. So I don't actually want this to really go anywhere. Hold on. Let me see what I want from the side rooms first. So I'm going to draft both rooms on either side of this. Maybe I should solve the chess puzzle soon. White pawn there. So both of these suck in this spot. I could just draft this as a dead end to say, let's get a key. Because I don't need to draft a library out of it. I'm going to do that. I'm going to say it sucks, but here's a key. And then out of here, I have a lot more freedom, which direction to take this. The chapel, I don't want that. Oh, I don't want this either. I don't want that. None of these are good. The chapel is the best one because it keeps me moving, but one of the doors is wasted, and I don't want to shelter the chapel. Otherwise, I have to go out of this room. You know what? I'm just going to risk it. I'm going to say if we blow it and day 10 is a stupid day that goes nowhere, it's a stupid day that goes nowhere. But we at least get a package which could help us here. Brass compass is okay. Gems and keys are great. I would have preferred a different special item than a compass, but I will take the compass. It'll make it less likely that we dead end out of here. So now... the only way forward is indeed through here. So now the secret passage, I definitely want an orange room because I want a lot of exits. Green rooms can have exits. Purple rooms tend not to. Red rooms, I don't want that here. I want the red room. I want like a wait room to appear in here, and so I want it to be sheltered. And a shop tends not to have a lot of exits, so we're going to take this. Shops tend to be 2 exit rooms only, like elbows or straightaways. Hallways, though, This is good. But no, because it's a red room, I don't want that because it'll be sheltered. So I want the West Wing Hall. And now I really have to be careful because this is my only passage through the place. I do not want a garage here yet. And a garage is going to show up on this area somewhere. So let me start by going this way and see what I can draft. This is a perfect place for a courtyard, and then a garage here is fine. And in fact, I might want the garage so it's out of my draft pool, and I get the keys. Thank you. So we're going to take it, make the dead end, do this, look potentially for other items, but if we get the car keys, we can come back and open the trunk and get something from there. It won't be an upgrade disc, but it'll be useful. Grab 2 more gems here, and maybe an item. I don't see an item, so we'll just take the 2 gems. And now we still have 2 ways forward. So let's see what we get up here first. This is the best one. So I'm going to draw security there. And I'm going to draw here. The chapel is good. Connectivity. All of these are risky. I don't want to. I want to get other red rooms first. I want to negate the problems with the red rooms. So none of these are going to send me where I want them to go. So I'm going to take the locksmith again because it's going to give me a die. But I'm not going in yet. I don't need to buy anything. Uh-oh. This is a problem. This is a problem. So we're going to set this to unlocked, but we don't want to see them. Oops. We don't want to see them. So keycard system settings, security level should be low because we don't have the keycard / have not changed things, but we are going to set this to unlocked. So now my only way forward is either find the keycard or shut this off. So I do have to go this way, and it has to not be a dead end. I'm fine with keys. I could buy more. Take a drinky drink. All right, so the question is, chapel or something good? So we can take the passageway. Will give us 4. One of them will be wasted, so now this is just the correct option. And it has a locked trunk, which I will use a key on because it will give me something I want. It's okay if it uses up a key. I get the key back, and I get a gem and a coin. So that was a good choice. So it's better than me making the hallway just have a key, right? Because if I just had a key, I wouldn't have got the gem and the coin. So now I'll use a key. Yeah, it's fine. This is an okay spot for a dining room. I'll put it here. And I will see if I can make a dead end or maybe not. Let's head back and make some rooms. Boudoir is heading the wrong direction, but it gives me 2 dice. Closet will just give me items. Workshop is wrong. I could just do this and hope for a draw going east. Because I have this whole wing I'm not using. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna hope for a draw going east. And it made it even worse, so congratulations me for just not taking good enough. I'll take the walk-in closet though, because I might get that gem back. And I do. Plus a key, gem, salt shaker. That's only 3 items. Where's the 4th? Salt shaker's not really that useful, but I'll take it. Coupon book, even better for buying keys. I'm going to save 1 coin. Have I ever close-upped on this? Save 1 coin in each purchase you make. So this really is helpful if you're making a ton of small purchases. It's not really as helpful if you're making big ones. So when it comes to the locksmith, buying single keys is going to be more useful than buying bundles of them. Okay. Let's see if I can't get... This actually is going to be the more useful thing than the cloister, even though the cloister takes me to the right. So I'm going to take the breaker box. We're going to turn this off. Now we can get through. We're going to turn this off. We're going to turn this on. I don't know if there's anything else about the garage being on that's helpful. I just do it because there's no benefit to having the garage be off. Let's check the time. It is 10. I still have time before I want to head back out to... Oh, wrong way. Head back out to this shelter. So let's go here. Get a straightaway would be great. Gymnasium. I'm sheltered from this and it's off. It's fine. I'm okay using the gymnasium here. And now I want a room that goes right. I didn't get it, but I got the corridor at least. Let me head back Now, actually, I think about it. I need to make more security doors. I need to turn the security way up because with low security, you're going to see 1 to 2 doors. I've already seen 1 door. I want to turn this up so I now see more doors because I can get through them. I don't want to see doors with regular keys. I want to save those. I can buy more keys, but I'm going to do that only if I need to. Okay, it looks like sure, I guess I'm just taking chapel. I guess I'm just doing it. It seems every time I draft the shelter, the chapel really, really wants to show up instead of things like the weight room. Let's go here. Let's go here. I'm going to use a key. I got plenty of those. Dang. Tunnel. I'm going to use... I haven't drawn a tunnel yet. Let's see what it is. Going straight away is fine. I could dig if I had something here. Well, this is interesting. I can draw a tunnel again. Would that be in any way useful? No. So I'm going to take the parlor and get the gems. Items? No, this corridor is going to connect to the fountain. That's my goal. So we're going to take the parlor here. And we're going to try this puzzle. I think we've done the parlor every day, so this will be puzzle number 10. The gems are in a box with a true statement. The statement on the blue box is true. 2 of these statements are true. So if we assume this is false, there's only 1 true statement, then this would also be false. This would be a true statement. The gems are in a box with a true statement. It would be here. If we assume that this is true, then this is true. This is false. The gems are in a box with a false statement, which means it's also the black box. So no matter what we pick, the black box has them. Great. 6 gems. We're doing good. Now this can go either left or right. It doesn't matter. Or it can be a dead end. Or I could pick this and have it go both ways, which is good because it's also a shop room. Let's head back. Let's go out the chapel this way. Now that it's sheltered, I can just go back and forth in the chapel without too much worry. If I want to get into the antechamber, though, I need to make sure I get a room with a lever. The one I haven't seen before is the greenhouse. I could look for the greenhouse. Let me chapel it up first. Coat check, patio, observatory. Observatory is going to give me those good old stars back that I used up earlier. So I think 3 stars just gives me steps, but it's worth it for future runs. Yeah. Of course, of those 3 steps, I used 2 of them entering the room and leaving again, so really, this doesn't really help. Okay, let's head back again. Oh, hey, shovel. Maybe I should have come in here first. Key, that's great. I've got a locksmith, but I don't have to use it. I could put a shop here if I want, because it doesn't matter what direction it goes. Okay, we're going to put the nursery here. I want this dead end out of my stuff, I want it out of my draft pool. Maybe there's an item in here. There usually is. I'll take that. And this way, if I draft another bedroom, I'll make some more steps. Okay, I'm starting to worry about keys. Kitchen or commissary, which is better. Food for sale is good, but I'm okay on steps. Just regular items for sale is probably the way to go here. We'll get another die, which we should probably start thinking about using. Banana is only going to cost 2 because we have the coupon book. Gem is only going to cost 3. Key is going to cost 10. No, thank you. Metal detector's good, though. Oh, wait, hold on. No. The banana is going to cost 1. It's going to cost 2, 9, and 9. This feels like just an obvious take. So I'm going to take it, but then I'm pretty low on stuff. Let's check this one out. Kitchen is good. It does use a gem, so I'd actually rather use pantry. Get some of this. Get some coins back. Okay, I'm going to use a key, but then we're going to head back to the locksmith soon. This uses all my gems. No, so I'm going to redraft, get some coins. this is tempting, but I'm going to take the bedroom here. Oh no, if I take the bedroom here, the drawing room is the obvious pull for this because it has an exit into the antechamber. So if I get the secret garden, that's the only thing that opens this actually. So I have to get the secret garden. So I'm going to do that. We're gonna see if we can solve some stuff in here now because there's clearly a puzzle going on. Let's just take a look. I'm going to count these pictures now. There are 5 stride lengths here. I'm going to take a nice drink as well. Some wonderful, wonderful juice. And there's the longest stride length, the horse. Then if we go down, I think it's the child, then the fast-walking beardy fellow, then the lady, and then the old guy with the umbrella. I mean, I think it's a cane, but it looks like it's an umbrella. Yeah. So this is the shortest distance. So if we count up, starting at this area, going around, if we count up the old guy, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 of him. Okay, 15 of the short one. Next is the lady. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of the lady, so 15, 4. Next up is the fast-walking gentleman here. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then we go to the child. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the horse, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so what do we do with that? Well, we'd have to have some place to input it. Now, I've been in the drawing room a lot. You may have noticed already what I'm about to point out. This takes a little bit of looking at. No, it's not the pawn here, although that is something we can look at. We've got this drawing this whole time. Do you notice something odd about this drawing? Okay, time's up. Look over there. What do you see? Look over here. What do you see? Look right here. That candelabra. Oh, we can grab it. We can pull it, and another safe. This is safe number 5. Let's see. We got shelter. Oh, shoot. I have to go out to the shelter. We have shelter. We have boudoir, the orchard, the study, the office, and now the drawing room. That's our 6th safe that we found. And we know that we're going to open it using a date. That's what we're going to use. And you can use what is in the room to solve the puzzle on the safe. Sometimes you need information from outside, but the information in the room will always be useful. So let's review the puzzle when we did all of this. If we count small gates, 8 dates open 8 safes. If we count small gates. Well, this one's a bit more of a pun, unfortunately. So I've been noticing all these pictures have stride length. This man is walking a long length, short length, really long length, extremely long length. Another word for like the length or the pace that you're taking is your gait, G-A-I-T. And if we count the small gates, we have 15 of these and 4 of these. So the answer is going to be a date that is the number 4 and the number 15. And it has to be in that order because we are using the American system. 0415. I'm going to say this is not the most satisfying puzzle to solve because, I don't know, in my opinion, when we did the spelling using the pictures, it said 8, or if we count small gates. The trouble with that puzzle is that it's written. It isn't a spoken small gates. Because if you said small gates, we could use a pun in that case. But because it is written G-A-T-E-S, the only way to start counting the gates that are spelled differently is to sort of just take a guess. I don't find that a very good way of doing a pun in this case, because we're not actually counting the small gates as it was written down in the puzzle. We're now doing a whole pun, which is not a great way to do a hint for a puzzle. So I just found this one very unsatisfying to solve, because it was like, oh, I was supposed to know that? Are you kidding me? But that's it. You count the smallest only. So small gate, 415. You get a red letter and a gem. So let's see what the red letter says here. This is red letter number 6. Dearest Mary, April 15th. I know the events of... Oh, it's another one for Mary. I know the events of the past year have catapulted you into a world you may not have been ready for. It's cruel the way time rips through our lives, leaving them barren and fruitless like wind-scarred plains. Throughout this all, I know your principal concern has always been Simon. You didn't need to confide in me yesterday for me to realize that fact. Everyone who knows you understands this. I will take full responsibility to ensure that regardless of how your current project pans out, Simon is shielded from any fallout and, God forbid, repercussions. A child should never suffer the iniquity of their parents. I, of course, write you all this in the hope that I can set your mind at peace when imagining the worst-case scenarios, not because I think such an outcome is likely. No, Mary, I have few apprehensions and fewer fears. Assuming everything goes according to plan, you should be reunited with Simon again before his 10th birthday, and while 2 years might seem like an eternity to a mother, I've always heard the days pass by more quickly in the East. As for me and you, I have already come to terms that our meeting yesterday was very likely our last. I am too old and too stubborn to ever leave this place. I am too attached to the home our family has built up. Room by room, yes, I have a strong premonition I will be buried in red soil under red flags, a compromise I know you yourself would never accept. It's been a joy watching you grow up and getting to know you. Your mother and I spoke of little else during your school days. I know she'd feel the same bittersweet pride I feel now to see you following in your father's footsteps and making the same sacrifices he did. Farewell, my marigold. We may yet meet again. Your Uncle Herbert. Okay, knowing what we know from the other letter yesterday, this is going to tell us a lot. So this is from Herbert to Mary. Herbert knows of her plan, the thing she was going to do from the other letter. And now he's talking about shielding Simon. That's us. The iniquity of their parents. He knows what she's going to do, and he seems to be on board with it, and he's promising here he's basically going to cover it up. And the first red letter we read was from our dad, who's really angry that Herbert covered it up. But what he doesn't know is Herbert is apparently falling on his own sword. Herbert's basically promising to, besmirch his own name in order to protect Simon. So that's what he's doing here. Assuming everything goes well, we'll be reunited before my 10th birthday. That apparently didn't happen. So this happened when I was 8. And we know that Mary and Marigold disappeared in 1987. So I would have been born in 1979. Right? And so this would make me 14? Yeah, this would make me 14 at the time of this game. 2 years might seem like an eternity. So whatever the plan was, Mary was intending to come back in 1989, but that didn't happen, so something went wrong. Our meeting yesterday was very likely our last. Too attached. Strong red soil under red flags. Herbert makes it sound like he doesn't like this. So whatever red comes to stand for, he is not actually with that. Now, we had the Red Prince book, and I know that the archive said something about pressure to change the original ending because it came across as political. Is that what it said? Change the ending, or something about the ending was too political? So there might be a connection between the red and the color of a political party. And I think Daniel's letter talked about something about the royalists. So red might be a royalist party, which Herbert doesn't support, but he's going to pretend to support in order to shield me, Simon. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. It's a bunch of story stuff that might lead to something later. Who knows? Yes. Okay, let's see what we get. Oh, this is great, but I don't have the gems for it. This is good to get some dice, but let's take this because it's a dead-end room, and I don't want to see dead ends anywhere else. So we're going to take the dead end here. There's probably nothing else in here. Oh, hold on. There's something here. Oh, Swimbird. There's a picture of a chief and a chef. We've already solved that puzzle. Okay, let's head back. It is now noon. Let's head back to the shelter before I forget to do that. And get our 4th red letter. It'll be the 5th safe we open, but the 4th red letter. This is the way out. We are going through our steps pretty fast. I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. Although, I think dining room should give us our food now. Where's the dining room here? Should I go to dining room now? No, I think I have enough steps to come back to the dining room after we do this. So let's dig these up. Maybe we get a turnip or coins. Can't eat those, though. And we head to the locksmith soon so we can buy our keys. Because that, I am worried about keys. But let's come back later. Garage is not going to have anything for me because I don't have car keys. Okay. Let's head out to the... Am I doing this right? Yeah, shelter. Am I doing anything else out here? I could go down to the basement again, but I don't know how to solve the puzzle down there. We kind of had a dead end. We need to come down through the other side, which was either the tomb or the fountain. Well, we didn't draft the tomb, so we'd have to somehow drain the fountain, which means we would need the pump room. Okay. So yeah, I don't think we're going to get down there today. Ah, here we go. Another gem. Red letter number 7. So this is our 4th red letter and our 5th safe. The only safe we've seen but haven't opened yet is in the office. I'm just trying to track that for myself. Dear Uncle, the disappearance of my cousin Mary. Okay, so this might... I don't know who this is yet. The disappearance of my cousin Mary has long sat unfavorably with me and my father, and I will freely admit to you that the chilly airs of indifference you may have felt in my presence can be attributed entirely to the suspicions that I have harbored for these past years. Suspicions entirely aimed at yourself, and while I have never had the opportunity to prove it, I felt very strongly that you had some deeper involvement in those events 4 years ago. The circulating rumors of those months did nothing but further reinforce my convictions in this fact. Those of us that are once bitten are twice shy, and I am aware of the cost my aggressively aloof behavior has had on the social standing of our family. I do not apologize for my actions, though I am now willing to admit that the conclusions I reached may have been flawed. Last week I had a confidential conversation with one of our mutual acquaintances, a conversation that has shed more light on this mystery than all of my father's countless fruitless inquiries over the years. I have now reason to believe that you were in fact responsible of smuggling my cousin under the cover of night across the red border to the southern seafront, and I believe this may have occurred in September, a full 7 months after she was reported missing. Ooh, that's interesting. A date that coincides not with her public disappearance in February, but instead with the notable theft of the ruby crown. That was in the newspaper. If the Blackwater insurgents were in fact responsible for the heist as some have claimed, I believe this scenario entirely plausible, and the fact that 2 of the crown's 8 rubies have now surfaced has given me renewed optimism that she is still alive. Alive, safe, and finally free. Perhaps my willingness to accept such a sensational story betrays my own desperation. Desperation for answers, desperation for hope, and desperation for a narrative in which you are not the villain. In that distant land we all dream of, the land where the strangling crimson curtains draped across our sky are pulled back and the windows and shutters of discontent flung wide open. In that distant land I pray one day to find our Marion safe, happy, and absolved. Courtney. Okay, let's look through that again. So Uncle. Now Herbert is our great uncle. It's Mary Matthews' uncle. But this is not written from Mary's perspective. It's somebody who's a cousin. So not Herbert's kid, not Simon's kid, but maybe Simon's brother's kid or something. It's somebody that's not on the family tree we saw. And everyone knows Mary disappeared, and Courtney here is very suspicious of Herbert, but is harboring a fantasy that Herbert is doing this for a good cause and not an evil one. So Mary Matthew went missing, as the newspaper read, and then the ruby crown was stolen 7 months later. But this writer, Courtney, believes that Mary Matthew was actually being hidden somewhere and then participated in the theft of the ruby crown 7 months later. That's the idea. The Blackwater insurgents, like the RCLF or something, whatever they were called in that newspaper article, she might be a member of that. And 2 of the crown's 8 rubies have now resurfaced. Not sure why. But the idea is that she stole that. and then disappeared. That's the idea. The Strangling Crimson Curtain. So the red about that, whatever party would be tied to the red that Herbert's pretending to support, the Royalist Party. That must be the one that's in charge, and it's probably not a great political, but they're probably, oppressive in some way, oppressive regime, and people don't like him, or at least the people who are writing this don't like him. Herbert doesn't like him. Marion doesn't like him. And so I guess this is part of some kind of plot to overthrow them. I'm not totally sure. Interesting stuff. Okay, that's that. We now have 4 letters because we've opened 5 safes, but the one in the orchard doesn't count, or at least doesn't have a letter in it. So there's 3 more we can find, and then we'll see what we can do from there. Maybe if we draft the office today, I'll try to get in that safe. Because it's starting to look like I'm not getting anywhere on entering room 46 today. Like, it's unlikely I'm going to make it. I mean, it could happen. Miracles can happen. Here, let's enter the locksmith and get ourselves a bunch of keys. So, lockpick kit is useful. It's going to cost 9. I could get a lockpick kit and then a special key. 3 keys is 11. 1 key is 4. So 3 keys from here is still costs more than this. So if I take this, I have a good amount of keys, but I can't get anything else. Whereas both of these together is really tempting. Because lockpick kit could save me numerous keys. It could be worth more than 3 keys. And then the special key, can I just... Yeah, I can still buy it. Vodka. Okay. Silver key. That's kind of one of the worst ones I could have got. Silver key is alright, but look at how few rooms I have left to draft. I don't need rooms with many exits. I need rooms with specific exits. So that was not what I wanted. But I'm going to go to the dining room and make sure this day lasts longer than the next 5 minutes. Pizza, which I forget the special room they want. Furnace, I'm not fighting for a furnace. That ain't happening. 20 steps is more than enough to get me somewhere. 21 steps. Ooh. Okay, this is the only way forward? Yes. Let's get into... What the... Oh, there might be something in the chapel there. What the... That's my guess, is something in the chapel there. That's too bad. Okay, now we're going to try to draft something that bends to the right. And we're going to need to redraw rooms if we want the day to last any longer, so we're going to do that. The pool has to be it. It has to be the pool. It adds the pump room, though. If we get the pump room, we could drain the fountain, which I think is what we want to drain. Let's see what we get from here. Closet or bunk room? Well, I have the nursery, so the bunk room's going to give me a ton of steps. Closet is items, but I'm okay on items. Like, I have plenty of items down here, and I'm okay up here. So what we're going to do is take the bunk room for the steps and get this dead end out of our way. Oh, cool, it has bananas in here too. So 8 steps from the bananas, 10 steps from the opening of the door. Okay. This foundation here. Let's see what we can do. We can't get up to that lever, which is annoying, but we'll find a way. We'll find something that tells us what to do with that. Turnip gives us 7 instead of 6. Let's see what is this way, maybe? Yeah, see if we can get around this side. Okay, I don't want a dead end here. Dark room is fine because we still have one more red room that can be sheltered. Yeah, the utility closet could do it, but we'd have to do this, go all the way back in that. It's not the way it goes. I think this is our best option for making more rooms. What? Oh, I'm so dumb. The aquarium. I've drafted the aquarium. So, I do have to trek all the way back. It has to happen. But before I do that, let me make some rooms here, because I might make some bedrooms. We'll see. I don't want the closet. Passageway seems like a waste. Is it though? I'm gonna take... I don't need the keys, but I'll need gems after doing this. I'm gonna take this so I don't have to worry about the room above the dark room. And then there's that. It's not going anywhere. Okay, I gotta use a key here. I said I don't need keys, and now I need keys. Okay, here's the billiard room. I'll get the keys here. It's fine. Okay. 7. 4 and 2 is 6. Times 3 is 18, which is there. 5, 1 is 6. 2 is 8. Times 2 is 16. 11 and 5 is 16. Times 2 is 32. Divided by 4 is 8, which is there. 2 regular keys, probably for the best. Much as I would love to have a secret garden here. Oh, come on, man. Study is fine. I can oh, pump room. Pump room is what I want. So let's see what I can do here. We've read the thing of pump room. Oh. Should I use a key on this is the question. Let's lock. Let's exit that for a second. There's something in here? Oh, it's just a coin right there. Let's see if I can pick the lock. Okay. Boudoir is good. Yeah, I want to be able to re-roll rooms here. That's going to open the passageway on that side, so I don't have to worry about that. I also get a free gem, because I know the password to the safe. Yeah, if you start figuring out the safes in this one, you basically can have up to like 6 or 7 gems that you ordinarily wouldn't have in a run. Uh-huh. Okay, so let's get... Let's get this fountain cleared. So the way it's going to go is I'm going to have to push a button that I want to activate, and then I have to set one of these pumps up. So we look over here. One is the fountain. So the fountain is going to pump number 2, which can go into either tank 1 or 2. Tank 1 looks... both of them are somewhat full. What would I fill up? Let me fill up from the tanks. The greenhouse, I want to fill up the greenhouse. Greenhouse is 5, which comes from pump 1, which always comes from this tank. So let me draw it. So I'll fill up the greenhouse a bit. And then let's set that to neutral just in case. So now that tank is empty, so we can put the fountain in that tank. And it's from here. Okay. Now I want it to be all the way empty, so I'm going to put this somewhere. Let me put it in the greenhouse. So we're going to go back to this, and I guess we're going to withdraw it like so. That'll get rid of some of the water, but not all of it. So let's see. The rest, let's send it to the kitchen, which comes from number 4. That comes from tank 2 only. Right? So this, I think? Yes. So what we're going to have to do is move the contents of the fountain. Let's make sure, just in case we screw this up. Just in case. We're going to send the contents of the fountain to tank 2. Is there enough? I don't know if there's enough. We'll see. I need to get rid of 4 more. But this is possible if I just make sure the tanks are full. So let's get the kitchen full again. Kitchen's from here. And the fountain can now go completely to this tank. Now there's only one spot left in the pool, but I'm going to drain the tank that goes to the pool, which is... Oh, pool is 6, so it's over here. 6 goes to this pump here. We're going to just pull from the tank, and it pulls from this tank. It's not going to pull much. It is going to fill the pool up. And now this tank is emptier. So if I switch back to that tank and then I pull from the fountain, I am going to completely fill this tank and completely empty the fountain. You just have enough to do that. Yeah. Gonna be honest, this is a tough puzzle to get. Like, if you come to the pump room for the first time, even with the instructions from the library book, you might not immediately figure out how you're going to get that fountain empty. But you can do it. There's something else in this room. Might as well point it out because I don't know the next chance I'll get to. There's the reserve tank, and this is attached to here, which is attached to these ducts. Now, if you remember from the boiler room, this is the power system from there. If you have the boiler room go to the pump room, you can power the reserve tank, and you can pull from whatever you have here. And so what this will allow you to do is drain more things. If you fill up the reserve tank, it's much easier to get the water flowing where you want it. Because right now, I had to get rid of every single other bit. Those tanks are full, and all of those are full. So an empty fountain, as you imagine, no water in there, we can probably check out. We saw there's a fountain entrance to the underground yesterday, so that's how we're going to get there. Reservoir, we know we're going to want to mess with. We're not sure how yet. Aquarium is currently full. I don't know, like, why a person would imagine they should empty the aquarium, but we could always try it, see what happens. The kitchen started out empty, but now that we filled it up, it allows us to use the faucet. Greenhouse started out empty, but we filled it, so we'll see what it does. We actually don't see what the greenhouse does when empty, because we haven't drafted it yet. And the pool, well, we've seen it basically full. We're not sure why we'd want it empty, but we could empty the pool. I think I'm going to open this on the off chance that it gives me a key. Or I'll just take these. That's good enough for me now. Let's get back to the... Well, I could just blind draft a room out of the dark room. I could just say, screw it, we're going to blind draft out of there. Or I could use how many steps? So we're in the passageway. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's actually not that many steps to the breaker box. So I think the best choice is to go back to the breaker box through the pool, which is now full, to this way. I've got a lot of rooms here. I wonder if I could fill in every room in the house. That would be really hard to do with the way I've set things up. And I'll probably have enough steps to explore the fountain, but we'll see. We're going to turn that back on. I could turn the gymnasium on too. It's sheltered. It doesn't matter. Okay, dark room, do your worst. There's going to be an item in the dark room, probably a gem, but it would be nice if it was something like a key. Because the thing is, I have a key, which is somewhat useful, but I only have one. So if my lockpick doesn't work, I have to use my last key. And it looks like I'm not getting in here. It's never happening unless I somehow get a secret garden key along here. So I'm probably not getting to the antechamber today. Great. Let me use the silver key here, because it's the only place I'm going to want anything with multiple doors. East Wing Hall. This spreads keys throughout, which is really nice, but I think I'd rather have something with multiple doors to give myself another chance at a room there. Conference room? I'm going to spread anything else? East Wing Hall. I'm going to do that. Okay, hold on. It's more worth it to do this one. Okay, these end things. This uses all my gems. I'm going to redraw. I'm going to redraw here. Doors in this room are security locked. That's the closed exhibit. Securities don't work, so we're going in. We can just go through the door here. What's this? Oh, it's another Morajai. We definitely want to play this. So yellow, I think, is the one that moves upward, like the one we played before. Yellow always goes this way when you click it. What's red do? Red seems to spread. But that's... Okay, that's it. So, black... Black does... that. Oh! What's happening there? I'm not entirely sure the rules of that, but that worked out really well for me. More allowance! Woo! We do like that. Which means our allowance is now 8. That's a pretty good amount of money to start with every day. Is it? Ah, there we go. We can't climb this at all to get that, whatever it is. Dearest children, the pieces are in place and all rigid cogs have been greased. However, if our ambitious plans are to succeed, we must strike this Tuesday. The routine changing of guard personnel on the first of each month means the opportunity we have created for ourselves will likely never be so opportune. If we wait even one additional week, the window will be closed. On Tuesday, there will be 3 Royal Guards stationed at Learson Hall, 2 of which will be wearing black gloves in lieu of the traditional white. We would be wise to sacrifice almost everything to avoid the white-gloved guard, striking only when he takes a recess. The 2 black-gloved guards have been instructed to bind, blind, and gag themselves to spare us the precious extra minutes it would take your group to execute that task on their behalf. However, that also means that once we reach the exhibit, we will truly be on our own. May the black shores guide us, may the black skies shield us, may our fathers be proud of us. In arms, your faithful soldier, Pharaoh. Okay, so this must be the heist that Mary was involved in, right? If she was, yeah, it seems like she was involved in this because the letter from Herbert says that he was using the house to practice. This room was used to practice the heist. Black gloves is important. So like red is whatever royalist party's in charge. Black seems to be whatever is... what was the name of the Black Brotherhood that was from the article? I've already forgotten. But the black is whatever's in resistance to that instead of white. So I guess the black gloved guards are the ones who are on their side. So those guards are going to let them in and then basically tie themselves up and say, oh, we got tied up. Cool. I'm also thinking about that first Alzara prediction where he talks about the red flag and the black cat tied to it. I wonder if that is in reference to political stuff rather than like a puzzle solution. Okay, but we just can't take that. We just can't do it. At least not in any sort of way here. Okay, this is the only way to continue unless I redraw and aim for... I'm not going to get a corridor because it's already used. I'm not going to get a spare room because it's already used. I feel like this is our only shot at going straight and getting more rooms. We might also find something in here that's useful. We get our gem back, which is good. At this point, I'm just seeing if I can get as many rooms in the house as possible. So, like, let me redraw until I get a straight shot. It's not going to happen. These are all dead ends. This isn't worth it because the shelter. Oh, ballroom. I'm going to take it. I can't. I don't have enough frickin' gems. Okay. I'm going to take the workshop. We might be able to make a cool item we haven't made yet. We got the battery pack again. So what can I make? I don't have the sledgehammer, so I'm not making that again. Lockpick can go with the metal detector. I think we've made that special lockpick before, but it's really good. Shovel, compass is dowsing rod? I'm going to do that. We haven't made a dowsing rod. So what this does is, while drafting, dowsing rod points towards rooms that may contain more items today than usual. Okay, that's not going to be useful because we've already drafted all the rooms. Let's... Or is it metal detector lockpick? We're going to do the pick sound amplifier. That'll let us lockpick better, I think. Can I make any more? Battery pack, coupon book. No, it's not going to go with it. Okay. Give me a straight room. Drafting. I don't have enough gems. Okay, this is the end of that. I wished I could have got there. This is almost a complete house. Any reason I want the study? Because I'll get a gem from the study, but it's going to be too late. I need the gems now for the drafting studio. And I have no more rerolls. That is okay. Is there any reason why I'd want... I'll just take gems now because I might want a gem-heavy room in the last place that I can look. Yeah, and there's no secret garden. I never got the secret garden key. Oh well. Alright, we'll just use... Okay, I'll just use my last key. It's fine. Great. Oh, office. I can solve this one. I might as well. This one is solvable. It's the safe, so we're going to... Hey, car keys. I can go in the garage and get something I don't need from the trunk of the car. It's not going to be useful at this point. I don't know what I'm doing. I've finished the day. So it's this note here. We noticed it in an early run. This is the only one that's in all black. And we're not sure what we can do with that. But if we remember that it's 8 dates, crack 8 safes. Well, March is also a month. So the way I solved this on my first go-round was I just brute forced it. Once I knew it started with 03, and I just went 0301, then 0302, and so on and so forth. Turns out the other way to get the day is to look at count. Now, if we remember from the foyer in the first day we did that, when I looked at the names, one of the statues was named Count Gates. If we count small Gates. So let's look for the bust of Gates. This is him. 1, 2, 3. There are 3 Gates. 0303. That one's okay. That one's not my favorite of the date solving ones, but at least you got enough hints in there you could figure it out. But it is still like, wait, how am I supposed to get with March of the count, knowing you're supposed to count that? Anyway, it's close enough. Here's letter number 8, and the 8 is sideways to make infinity. Okay. We're really flying through these safes. Dear Mr. Sinclair, thank you for promptly answering all our demands, not involving the police, and allowing this unfortunate transaction to transpire as smoothly as one could hope. And while I'm guessing you had hoped to never hear from us again, once we had given you back the envelopes, we felt that one final red letter of our own was merited given the circumstances. Hopefully you will not be as careless with this missive as you were with the others. Correspondence this incriminating should be kept in safes, not desk drawers. Let's first put your apprehensions aside, as I'm sure another red envelope is the last thing you expected to find on your desk this week. No, we are not making more demands, and no, we do not have copies of the other letters. You were already more than generous and accommodating, and the least we can do is fulfill our end of the bargain. So why write to you at all? Why incriminate ourselves further if we already have what we want? In a word, principles. After reading your eloquent reply to our initial note, it became apparent to us that there had been a few misunderstandings. This letter is intended to clarify some of those points, and hopefully will place our schemes in a softer light. First, we may have gotten too excited with the colorful language of blackmail, but our goal is never to terrorize, despite what you may believe you interpreted as thinly veiled threats toward your young nephew. I want to personally assure you there never was any danger, any tangible danger. If we gave any impression we would hurt the youngster, it was meant only in a vague sense of hurting his social prospects, and yes, while we admit that our word choices might be questionable, enough so that it would be reasonable to accuse us of being intentionally misleading, we hope you believe us when we tell you that this was not a calculated ploy to elicit payment. However, as payment has been received, there is nothing to be gained by scrutinizing the questionable ethics that were employed in our extortion of those funds. Little defense can be mustered on that score. Additionally, any judgmental tone you may have detected when we discussed the content of your stolen letters was entirely unintended. We wanted on record that we do not consider ourselves superior to you and your family in any way, and are in fact entirely sympathetic to the underlying cause that the letters pertain to. And you thought this letter couldn't get more incriminating for us. Again, we feel guilty as sin, and only time will tell if the financial recompense will outweigh our culpability. Even though you will never hear from us again, we hope this parting letter will result in you thinking of us and our dealings, if not favorably, at least sympathetically. Sorry for the inconvenience. Forever Anonymous X. Well, that's weird. But I guess what has happened here is that the other red letters they're very incriminating to Herbert. They're showing that he has been intentionally keeping, I guess, intentionally keeping Mary Jones, our mother, a secret. She disappeared. He was holding on to her. He was knowledgeable of, if not implicated in the heist of the crown and the jewels, involved in some way, and all of these letters show that kind of stuff. And I guess somebody found the letters and sent him red envelopes with the letters inside, basically blackmailing him, saying, hey, we have this information about you, and making him do XYZ, or he paid off these people. And they're basically writing back to say, hey, we're kind of on your side here. We're not making demands, all this kind of stuff. I'm not sure. It's kind of weird so far, but they're basically saying, hey, I know we threatened your nephew, probably me, but you paid us. We're all good. We just want to make it, say it's all over. You'll never hear from us again, etc., etc. But we're not sure who this is. This could be the group that actually pulled off the heist, but it's unlikely that the group that pulled off the heist would also then say, we have incriminating evidence on you, because, they're on the same team. So we don't know who this is from. But that is interesting. That gives us 6 safes out of 8. The other 2 are in rooms we haven't seen, I guess. Where are they? I'm trying to think, because I'm remembering the meta key of W who's played the game before. I remember where one of them is. Where's the other one? I'll have to find it. It's fine. We'll get there. We'll get there. Is there any reason to use this computer? Probably not. We've basically seen everything in the house. Let's head out to the fountain and see what our pump room shenanigans have done. Wait, are doing special items going to help us out? Magnifying glass could. Pick sound amplifier. That's not going to help anymore. This will get us not out of here. The pool will. Do I have enough steps to do this? I might not have enough steps. We'll see. We're definitely not going to be getting into room 46 today. That is for sure. This way? No, it's this way. Getting lost in my own house here. Hold on. I don't really need keys, though. Huh. I was thinking I could, steal the keys somehow, but no. I'm hearing a shuffling sound as I'm going back and forth, which is weird to me. No, it might just be when I look at the keys. Okay, whatever. Let's head out this way. Okay, I did remember the way back from there. I have enough to see the fountain. The fountain which is drained. Cool, a coin. So this coin is actually what we threw in the fountain in one of the earlier ones. So if you throw a bunch of coins in the fountain, then when you drain the fountain, you can get those coins back on a later date. So I guess you could set yourself up for a really good day the next day, but I don't particularly care here. And basement door's locked, so we need the basement key. The good news is this fountain is now drained forever, so as long as we get into the antechamber, we can get into this door. That's all we need. Is there anything else we can do? I don't think so. Shelter doesn't have anything else in it we need. Is there anything I want to explore in other rooms? Not really. Oh, we got our package, blah, 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 blah. I think we're going to call it a day here. That's a pretty good day. We got a lot of red letters, so there's a lot of reading. I'm sorry. That's how it goes sometimes. Drink my medicine. A lot of steps. Items found. New rooms. New rooms 4. What's this? Locksmith is new. Veranda was new. Closed exhibit was new. And pump room, I think, was new. Cool. Okay, well that's all for that. We're doing really, really well. We have potential of actually winning on the next day if we get really lucky, I think. based on what we know from the last couple days. So hopefully that happens, but if not, I'm willing to take as long as it takes to get through this. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!